Hi everyone, Plastic EP here from Melbourne, Australia. We're going to cross over to New Jersey and we're going to speak with Mark Weiss, famous rock photographer. How are you, Mark?
How you doing? Thanks for having me, Plastic.
Hey, it's a pleasure, Mark. Now, I've seen your video and I want everyone to go and see that video. And that's fantastic. You're driving the car and you got dudes wanting to get into concerts and you're in the diner. Oh, I loved it. What's the name of that video and where do they find it?
It's actually a series that we just started called the Weiss Guide, and it's about these five guys that kind of like stalk me. So there's two main characters, Jesse and Creeper, and they kind of like they met me in a diner, and they wanted me to get them backstage, and they just started hounding me. So the whole first episode is about them getting backstage to a Tesla concert and sneaking in on the bus, and then Chip Enough has a fantasy scene when he sings his song "Fly High, Michelle." So it's got a little bit of a twist with fun rock and roll stories, and just a bunch of guys getting in trouble.
And who's the lady that plays your girlfriend?
That's Michelle.
Jeez,
yeah, and actually, and so Chip has the song "Fly High, Michelle," so it just happens to be her name. And it's just funny, it's a funny little, it's a 12-minute episodic adventure. And we were just ready to do the flashback scenes where someone plays me in the 20s and those guys that are now, 45 when they were like 13 and 14. So we're just going to do that. So that's not on here because of the pandemic and all that, but it's a little slice of what's to come. And that's the first of many, many little series of this.
Mark, tell me, I know you've filmed so many great rock stars. From your memories of who you filmed, can you tell me something about when you've done a photo session and it was like a great session, or something may have happened in a session? Some of your great stories you can share with everybody?
Well, there's a lot of them. They're in the book. And it was really hard for me to try to like put it down in words, but I managed to do it after 5 years in the making of this book. Just a lot of fun times, Ozzy sitting in the bathtub, me just, going in there, taking pictures of him with a bottle of Dom and a cigar in his mouth. Him shaving his head unexpectedly the night before a big photo shoot, and we still did it. That was 1984, I believe. And just a lot of other shoots that are just, you just never know going into a shoot. It could be planned as best as possible, but at the end of the day, you walk into something, it's like everything's brand new.
Can you tell me about Kiss? You took photos of Ace Frehley, and can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I have a long history with Kiss since I was 17 when I first got arrested selling my pictures in front of Madison Square Garden. I used to sell them for $1 a piece and then sell them in my high school. So I got arrested at that concert and went to jail overnight. It kind of changed my world around because the next day I went to Circus Magazine and I ended up getting to know them, and they ended up using my photos like 6 months later in Circus Magazine, which was a magazine I worked with. So really, Kiss kind of gave me my unofficial start in the music business as a rock and roll photographer. And then fast forward a few years when they decided to take their makeup off, I did one of my first photo shoots in my studio, which was literally a block away from where I got arrested at Madison Square Garden, is in New York City. And then we became friends, and they started hiring me to do shoots, tour books, album covers. It's just kind of just snowballed into today when I did their last tour book.
That's huge. Can you tell me some of the covers you've done, album covers?
Well, my first cover was "Stay Hungry" by Twisted Sister. It's him with the bone. Then I did "The Last Command" with Wasp. I did "Under Lock and Key" with Dokken. Anthrax, "I'm the Man," Cinderella, Night Songs, and the big one was "Slippery When Wet," Bon Jovi, which took a turn from several of the different covers, which I did all of them.
That's huge. Any others? That's really
hard to remember right now.
Apart from the people that took photos with the Beatles for their covers, You're right up there, Mark.
Oh, thank you.
No, seriously. So you got to tell me a bit more because I know you got a lot of stories. I bet you got a lot of rock and roll stories. Like as I said, I interviewed Mitch Wiseman and he was telling me Kiss stories. You know Mitch, don't you?
I do know Mitch. Yeah, I known him back in the Lieber Krebs days, back in the early '80s. We were very friendly, and he's a great guy, and he's a great Paul too. Amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now, can I have a look at your book? I've got to see your book.
Sure. This is the book without the slip cover. The slip cover is this here. This is the slip cover.
Yeah, let's have a look at the slip cover.
Oh, okay. I always take the slip cover off because I don't like to ruin it or anything. So that's the front, and then this is the back.
Oh, that's great.
And then you open it up, and there's a little something on me here. Oh yeah, about the author.
That's a fantastic book. Look at the quality on that. Any favorite photos in there you can show us?
Favorite photos? They're all like kids, so they're all my favorites.
I know.
I don't want to hurt any of their feelings, you know?
No, I understand. You got to pick out a few at least, all right?
Jeez.
And take your time. There's no rush.
Well, this one is kind of means a lot to me. The Billy Idol shot.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Because I had a meeting with Bill Aucoin in New York City, and I went to see him, and I knew he worked with Kiss. I worked with him a little bit earlier. And I went and saw him, showed him my portfolio. He was looking for some pictures, a photo shoot with Billy. And as I was leaving the office, I bumped into a woman named Suzanne, and she introduced herself to me. And she said, "What band are you in?" Because I had leather pants on and, the long hair. And she knew I was coming off of Bill Aucoin's floor. And I said, "I'm not. I'm a photographer." And then we started talking. And the next thing you know, we had dinner that night, and then we got engaged, and we got married, and we had 2 kids, and now I have a grandkid because of that elevator meeting. So that's
fantastic.
That chapter is called "Love in an Elevator."
Unbelievable. Now, who else have we got other than Billy Idol?
Well, that wasn't my favorite shoot. That was just my most meaningful shoot because I have it changed my life because of my family. Let's see. My shoot.
Is Ace Frehley in there?
Yeah, he's in this is the photo that I took when I got arrested, actually. And it's in the early years. I have a section called the early years.
Sure.
And there's the shot I sold for $1, and then I went to jail overnight.
Gotcha.
So that kind of changed me around. Let's see. I mean, this was a memorable night. The Motley Crue guys.
Oh yeah, that's great. Motley Crue. They made the movie now about them. That's a great movie.
So the story behind those photos, that was the first time I went on the bus with them, and I had to go through initiation. I was on tour with Ozzy, and they asked me if I wanted to go on the bus with them. And I said, yeah, sure. So as I go on, Tommy Lee is sitting in the driver's side where the bus driver usually sits, and he put his leg out and stopped me from going on the bus. And then Nikki kind of grabbed me, and then Tommy kind of held me back, and then Nikki started biting me, and they have this thing called draw blood. It's like a little initiation kind of thing. So Nikki started biting me, and he's like, he wanted me to bite him back. And I'm like, I ain't biting you back. And then after 10 minutes of him biting me, I was like, in a few shots of Jack Daniels, to ease the pain, I bit him back and I drew blood and I walked on the bus and,
Where was he biting you?
On my leg, my thigh.
Okay. That's a story. That's a rock and roll story. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. These stories that no one else knows. Any other initiations?
Any other initiations? This is, let's see what else we got here. Let's just breeze through. This is a shoot I did with Ozzy and his daughter, Amy.
Yep.
Is that?
Yep.
And then also this book has has 3 gatefolds that open up.
Oh, that's unreal.
Okay. So the story behind the Easter photo is when I was doing that shoot in 1984 with Ozzy for the cover of Faces magazine. It was supposed to be like this Diary of a Mad Housewife to play off of his record Diary of a Madman. And it was Mother's Day issue. So we kind of did that shoot. But then when he walked in the studio, he saw this Easter Bunny outfit. And he's like, "What's that, Mark?" And I didn't know what it was at the time. And I'm like, I looked at the corner because I shared a studio with a commercial photographer. And I didn't really notice it, but it was in the corner that he had it left over for a shoot. And I said, well, that's what we're doing for the cover. And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "For the cover?" He's like, he looked at me like this. And I said, "Yeah, it's going to be fun." And then Sharon left. She's like, "Oh, have fun, boys." And then we started, he actually went in the outfit. I didn't think you were going to get him in the outfit, but he went in the outfit. And I took these photos of Ozzy and I just kind of kept them in the closet for about 15, 20 years until I just found them one day. And I sent them to Sharon. And I said, I sent them to Sharon on Easter. And next thing you know, she posted them on her social media, and the Ozzy Bunny photos were out of the closet. And then every year they post the photos. And, because at the time it was the Prince of Darkness, in this bunny outfit. It would have been awful. So, it's all good fun. So, yeah, photos definitely send a message.
That's the stuff of legends, what you're telling me now. Now, come on, I know you must have some wild stories with some of these people. Like, these people are untouchable, and you go there and you take photos of them. I mean, can I ask you, with Kiss, is there any particular member you're more friendly than the others? Or they're all friendly to you?
No, they're all friendly. They all have different personalities. I have a different relationship with each of the guys in the band, and it's just a good working relationship. You just build over the years and the decades. If I wanted to know, I'm just saying, if I wanted to know their personalities, can you just tell me a little bit about their personalities? Gene is very confident, and he knows what he wants. He's not shy about putting you on the spot. He likes to test you, and Paul is very very confident and very he's the best in his world, and he is, and what he does. I mean, look what he's accomplished over all these decades. And Ace is just a fun-loving guy that just likes to hang out and in the old days party. And Peter, I got to know him later on in the last decade, and he's just very kind of like down to earth and just kind of accepting his fame and just kind of moving on. Like he kind of let go of what the other guys kind of are still accomplishing.
With Twisted Sister, can you tell me a little bit about that shoot?
Yeah, the Twisted Sister shoot was the Stay Hungry album, and they all came in with an idea. Well, actually, Mark Mendoza had an idea to photograph the band in stage clothes and without stage clothes, and then put them both together with makeup, without makeup, and then they were going to have this room with his bone in the middle of it. So the idea was to have both of the bands in the same shot, but it was like kind of too crowded and I couldn't get the right vibe out of it. So I ended up, after 22 hours, called it a wrap, and I got what I got at that point after doing multiple sessions, like with different backgrounds and individuals and whatnot. And then at the end, I just asked Dee to stick around for one more roll of film, because it's usually like the last roll of film that you get some magic out of it, because it's like the last roll. So everyone else was really tired. It was literally 4 a.m. after 22 hours of shooting, and Dee stayed behind. And the last frame on the roll of 36 exposures, we got that magic shot. He actually took the bone and just started grabbing it and making noises. And with the group shots, he didn't want to overshadow the guys, so he kind of like held back. But once they left, he just kind of let loose, and that's where we got the magic shot, which was, the image that kind of like portrayed the band for that decade.
You know, when you have a shoot like that, you're saying 22 hours and you've got 36 rolls of film and you get that one magic shot. I'm saying you obviously store and file all the other photos. Do you sell your photos too, the ones that you don't use?
Well, the ones I use when I don't use, whatever, like, 30, 40 years later, I dig back into my archives and I look at them and I kind of decide what I want to sell to the public, and I'll sign them and autograph them, on the corner and write their names and the year, to make it a fine art print. So yeah, I've been doing that for the last probably 15 years. And now that the book's out, I'm expecting to get a little more attention towards it. It's a hard sell. We sell, they start at 300 and goes to, 3,000 plus, depending on the size. But for now, for a limited time, if you buy the book, or even if you don't buy the book, you go to my shop on my website, thedecadethatrocked.com. I have limited number of prints and that are signed the same way that I'm selling for $30. So, if you want like an original Mark Weiss print signed, now would be the time to get it. And there's different bundles. I have a T-shirt. I have centerfolds. Here's I always love centerfolds because my first photo in the magazine was a picture of Steven Tyler and it was a centerfold. So I have this Vince Neil centerfold, and I have this Lita Ford centerfold.
That's a beauty, that one.
That will come in.
She hasn't signed it, has she?
They're not signed, no.
If you had one of hers signed, I'd be interested. All right, as I said, you've got some photos there to show us as well, haven't you, Mark?
Well, also on my website and my shop, I have because you can get the book on Amazon for $45, which is $5, less than I charge on mine. But with mine, you get some special packaging. You'll get I have these little stickers, Decade That Rocked, and I also have these postcards, which I've been using for promo for the last 10 years. I love postcards.
Yeah, they're great.
They're actually postcards. You can mail them.
Yep.
It's my Ace Frehley. So you get a bundle of 5 or 10, depending on what package you get. So
can I see those ones? Who's that? Call them out.
There's Lita Ford,
right?
1990. There's the infamous Twisted Sister cover.
Yep.
There's David Lee Roth, which is my book opener, actually.
Yep.
We got Motley Crue, their first shoot I did that gave them national attention. That was in Weiss magazine. And then we have Guns N' Roses from CBGB's 1987.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And also on the back, I always have like a little thing where it says like the name of the song, Welcome to the Jungle, or, whatever the song title is that I put on. Tom Kiefer from Cinderella, outtake from the Night Songs album cover. Madam X. This is the band that Sebastian Bach actually replaced the singer, Brett Kaiser, Brett is now in the band again. And there's a Joan Jett one too.
That's great too. Can you tell me a little bit more about a Joan Jett session? I'm a big fan.
Joan was just, released her solo album, and I was working in New York, and I met her through some people, and I just, we got along. I clicked with her, and just gave me access, and I started doing photo shoots. Got her in some magazines, and we developed this relationship. So it was just, it's just nice, no big story or anything, just great photographs that she gave me. She let me into her world, and that's the most important thing, to have an artist trust you enough to let you into their world.
Of all the artists, I'm just saying, do you have one particular favorite that you remember that, the meeting or being with them or hanging out with them? Do you hang out with them sometimes when you're not taking photos? Like they become really close friends?
Yeah, most of my subjects I become friends with. We don't hang out when we're home, because everyone's home. Everyone lives somewhere around the world. But when we're on the road and we're playing together, or when we're, doing our thing. We're all hanging out, having dinner and drinks, and so all of them. Kevin Dubrow was especially a good friend back in the 80s from Quiet Riot, and Don Dokken as well. They both gave me keys to their house whenever I came to LA. They were on tour. They let me stay there, and those two guys were unfortunately Kevin passed away, and Don is very much alive and still friendly. I just did a live stream to celebrate the release of the book a couple Saturdays ago on Tom Hazard and David Ellefson from Megadeth. They have a "Oh Say Can You Stream" series, and I had about 35 of my close friends from back in the day, and Don was on it actually, as well as Zach Wilde and a bunch of people. So it was nice having them on, seeing them this close, and kind of reliving some of the past glory days of the 80s.
Mark, I've got to say, this is a fascinating interview, like a real rock interview, and I love rock interviews. Can I ask you, before we say goodbye to everyone, now, if you can go through where they can find everything again, the merchandise, your Facebook page, whatever you got out there in the media, if we can go through that, that'll be fantastic.
Well, the decadethatrocked.com has a lot of interviews. There's actually a cool interview of Sebastian Bach unveiling the book, which he was excited to tell me about a few days ago. And it kind of says it all. It's on his YouTube, but it's also on my the decadethatrocked.com. And I have a new page that I'm encouraging people to go check out called The Decade That Rocked, Instagram and Facebook. And then I have Mark Weiss Photography on Facebook as well, and Twitter, Mark Weiss Guy. But really my main page, the branding page, is the decadethatrocked.com, and it has a lot of interviews of the bands talking about me, the times, has other little things on there, a lot of the news clips. Actually today, we just posted the Washington Post. They did an hour-and-a-half interview with me, and that just, whenever I get some news events, I'll post it on social media, on Facebook, like I'm going to do with this plastic.
Thank you.
I'll also put it on my Decade That Rocked. So this will be a link on the news page, so it kind of like trickles down as they come in.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll be telling everyone about your book, right? Because from what I've seen, that's got to go in everybody's, library at home. That is a massive book, and I love the name too. And the people that are in it, you've blown my mind. I mean, I can't get over even the postcards. As I said, now I've become a fan of the postcards, just even looking at them. I think you'll have to hook me up with a bundle after we say goodbye and sign the book. I'm sold on it. I can't thank you enough. And as I said, out there, everyone's going to love this interview. It's one of the most fascinating and greatest interviews I've done. I mean, I just love these hard rock interviews. It's like really there.
I bet you say that's all the boys.
No, I don't. And I know a few people, so it's all right. But I'm telling you, to go on a bus with Motley Crue, I mean, what tops that? Tell me what tops that?
Yeah, that was a pretty amazing moment, and I wasn't the only victim. It was supposedly they've done it to other unwilling victims.
But tell me, Mark, is there something that tops that one? Now we're trying to find the level here. Like, I mean, you told me about Aussie, but now is there something that beats the bus event?
I think that's the topper right there. Anything else is a little X-rated, and I don't think it's proper for the kiddies to listen to.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, listen, Mark, I've loved the interview, and I know you're a busy man, right, with all the photos and fantastic fans that are going to go out there and buy your book. Make sure you buy Mark's book, because I'm just blown away. Thank you again, Mark, for the interview. It's been fantastic, and I'm sure we're going to talk again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Plastic.
All the best. We love you, Mark. Thanks, man.